intense information that's being thrusted at you would just stop.
Yeah.
Mosquito.
I need to order that. The slate where I can do.
Oh, yes. I like that.
It's been in my cart for a bit.
They have mini ones, too. You could have a little...
I want the biggest one.
Oh, seems so nice. A little clicky.
Like the biggest one. All right, ready?
Yeah. Mosquito. My hair.
I'm so fat. I get out of breath now. That's not good.
That's one way to start.
You know what? I wake up in the morning and my heart is already racing.
Uh-oh.
I feel it.
What are you going to do?
Have a drink.
Go for a walk.
I do. There's stairs here. I got to go up and down those stairs at least 5 times a day.
Slowness. They're very intermittent.
You know how long this house is?
Well.
So if I am here and then I want to go to the kitchen.
You live on a hill. Go. That's exactly.
That's a big hill, though.
That's exactly. You start small. That's another thing. I was thinking about, I won't name names, but I was thinking about somebody's cousin. And I was like.
Whose cousin?
No, that's the anonymity part.
Oh, okay.
So, and I was thinking, you know, they're in a risky situation health-wise. And I was like, the problem is when you look at the big picture of your personal health, you're like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
It feels so far away that you already self-defeat before you even get started.
I'm on that boat.
And so, but I was like, man, you got to start with like the little victories, like go down the hill, up the hill once.
A little victory for me would be to not drink for half a day. Or only eat half of the pizza instead of the whole pizza.
No. Here's the thing. You can do a lot of stuff if you generate the energy to work it off. And that's what I'm saying. Set a timer. Go drunk or not. Down the hill.
Oh, I'll fall over.
No. Down the hill.
And then roll down.
Up the hill. And that's it. Once.
Take out a dog.
Right? Then you start doing little markers. Like, do that. Like, once a day. Once you start feeling like, okay, I got a little routine here. Then you start to go a little further up the hill, past your house. Start at your house, go to the bottom, come to the top. Slow as you want. Okay? Then put on a Netflix on your phone or something. Just be really breezy about it. Then on the way up, go a little past your house and come back down. Now it's a little further. Then you go a little further, and just be on a little bit of a routine.
Right? On paper, it sounds like the easiest thing.
It's not easy. That's why I say maybe you go. I was talking to my brother's girl, and she was saying the same thing. I said, you can't like try to get out there and jog a mile. Go till you're tired and come back.
Yeah.
Go halfway down the hill.
I'm agreeing as I'm taking a drink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you try to
I have a bag in the backyard.
If you try to cut everything at one time and everything like that, it's like it works, it's sad.
But only for a bit.
But it's also sad. You feel like you're losing so much at once and it hurts. Working out hurts. You're sore. Hurt. You're sore the next day, which doesn't motivate you to do it again. Right? But
then it makes you hungry.
That's okay.
I was doing really good lifting for about 2 months. And then I haven't been to the gym in, I would say, 3 weeks. And lifting made me hungry.
Hungry is fine. Timing of hungry. Conditioning.
I need to set up.
You have a lot of candy in your house.
I know. I don't. You know what? I have only eaten 2 of the 2 pieces. I ate them yesterday.
You mean today?
No, yesterday. I'm not a big candy person. I'm not. I don't have a sweet tooth. Why do you have
so much in the house?
I don't know. It was on sale. No, you know what it was? I produced a movie last month, and my friend's my friend Kelly Young, wrote the screenplay. And then my other buddy, Eric Morgret, who is a filmmaker. They're both filmmakers, but Eric actually made it. He storyboarded it. He got a bunch of people from the local Seattle community that likes to make movies. We shot it at the Renton Civic Theater just down the street.
Yep.
And I catered it. So I had there were nine or 10 actors in it. And then there were a crew of about 8.
I would do something like that, by the way.
Yeah, make a movie. Let's make a movie.
Little acting.
Yeah, it was fun. It was we were there for the whole day, and part of the...
I act like I'm a regular person every day. I got it in the bag.
How well do you do?
I got 2 gun fingers, and I act right. Hey, how you doing? I'm so regular.
So I was in charge of the craft services table. So I got the actors snacks and pop, and we got them lunch, and that was the candy. I bought this big old huge 3-pound bag of candy for them. That's why it's there.
That's not a good craft services person.
It is. It's the they
Where's
loved it.
the celery?
No, they had celery. Oh. There was a veggie tray.
I like a veggie tray.
There was muffins. There was cookies. There was pop and
all
water
of that
and
stuff
chips.
Is the Nano.
Hey, but
where's
for
the
actors,
kombucha?
Oh, that's expensive, first of all. I went to Costco. All right, let's get this show on the road.
They sell kombucha at Costco.
Do they? That's
it's good.
Do you drink kombucha? It's a hipster. Do I look like a hipster?
Oh no, but this is the thing. We're talking about it. It's about the butt, the gut biometrics.
And it has booze in it, doesn't it? Mm-mm. Oh, I thought it did.
No, it's the fermentation, and it's like non-consequential.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
I felt that I got drunk off kombucha once. Was that a lie?
Holy God, did you drink? How much did you drink?
Like
it's not
3
possible.
glasses.
Not possible. They do make hard kombuchas, though.
I think that's what it was. Because I'm pretty sure I was buzzed.
They have alcoholic ones, but then they have just...
It doesn't taste good. I don't like it.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not a hipster.
I will take the challenge because I will bring you some that are fantastic. Oh, yeah.
You're more of a hipster than me.
No, that's not true at all.
You're way cooler than me. And I'm using the word hipster as cool.
A synonym for cool.
Although I am dressed better than you today, I should say. You're more coordinated than I am.
Excuse me. Have you seen my shoes? I agree to disagree. My jeans are awesome, by the way.
Look at this.
This is Fabricio's sweatshirt.
Ahora estoy bien ranchero. Mira,
fíjate. Yeah.
Voy a ir al rancho.
I wish you were wearing a cowboy hat, honestly. That would.
This show is brought to you by The Sneakers Friend. If you're a sneakerhead and have dozens or hundreds of shoes and it's heat and you wear them, you'll definitely want to check out The Sneakers Friend. Or if you're just getting into sneakers and you want to keep them looking fresh, you'll definitely want to check out The Sneakers Friend. Formulated with gentle cleaning agents, you can use The Sneakers Friend across a variety of materials. And they have a special offer for CZ Media podcast listeners. Go to the website, thesneakersfriend.com, purchase your cleaning kit, and enter in code CZMP15, and you'll get 15% off your order. So go to their website, thesneakersfriend.com, order your kit, type in code CZMP15, and you'll get 15% off. So again, sneakerheads, not so much sneakerheads, check out The Sneakers Friend.
Love that.
Yeah, I look good. Although I don't have...
Own it. Yes.
I don't have...
Oh, yes. Beautiful.
My nasty toes.
Holy God. If you had... They go hardcore with those really long tips on the cowboy boots. Ooh.
Yeah, long enough where they can hold it and then dance with their own boots.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen those?
Well, I think there's some compensation happening.
Probably. Hey, dudes compensate for that in a variety of different ways.
I'm not talking about the
dong.
The guy. I'm talking about the guy. I feel like the shorter the man, the longer the boots.
The longer the
Yeah.
That would be a good social experiment.
Hey,
Be like, line up, dudes.
I'm here for it.
Smallest to tallest.
And I promise you, the tallest dude has the most regular size cowboy boots on.
Yeah.
And he's packing heat. Interpret that as you like.
All right. Tall cowboy men, please submit photos. Coty
Of your boots.
Coty wants to see.
No, don't go rogue there. Don't just send. No, specifically just the boots.
But that's the crust of your argument.
Yeah,
Crux.
but you're saying,
You
hey,
said it.
tall guy, send in photos.
Well,
I'm saying, hey, keep the dick pics.
Don't you want confirmation of your hypothesis if it's true or not?
If they're tall,
No.
their boots are regular.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about anything else going on in
You need all the data.
Nope. Just that data is fine for me.
You need all the data.
Keep your data to yourself. But I love shoes, so send me pictures of boots. I love it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. My buddy Coty is here. Coty,
Hello.
let's cheers. We won't
Cheers.
tell anyone it is 11 in the morning and we're
Oh, we won't tell them
two
that.
drinks in,
Oh, who said that?
but it's a good time. Don't forget to check us out on your
It's
favorite.
fruit punch.
It's Kool-Aid.
It's Kool-Aid. Ew. When was the last time you had Kool-Aid?
Never.
Yeah.
When I was 8,
Yeah, at somebody else's house, too, by the way. My mom was not
I was a Tang guy. I drink Tang
Yeah,
and
my...
Ovaltine. My mom got me Ovaltine.
See, I
and
had
Tang.
none of that stuff.
No?
You know,
Ovaltine is delicious.
I wouldn't know. I drink, I did like Tang, but we didn't have it in the house. We drank Capri Suns
Yeah.
and milk.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water though. When I was a kid, I wanted water all the time.
Properly hydrated kid.
I was a super active kid. So I
Yeah.
think my body was just like, what are you doing? Give us water. We're going to die.
Don't forget to check us out on your favorite podcasting app. And then don't forget there's too many things. They're too demanding of the audience to check us out on YouTube.
Yeah, look at us.
Man.
He's got an amazing shirt on. You should look at us.
I'm going to try to wear ridiculous things now.
Hey, if you want to, I can coordinate and plan for the ridiculousness. I would live for that. I love an excuse for an outfit.
I'm going to go to the Goodwill and then just find crazy things and then wear them. I know what I'm going to wear for the next one. It's this fluorescent lime colored shirt that I wore. No, on the teal side though. It's kind of like this, except radioactively bright.
I'm saying we could have
Coordinated. You know what? I should.
That's what I'm saying. We say, hey, come neon, and I will blast it. I have a unicorn onesie. Okay, just saying. It's the bee's knees. I have a dinosaur one and a cat one. I am rich with onesies.
That.
Okay.
Do they have the trap door in the back?
No, I wish they did. I used to. I kind of was a connoisseur of pajamas.
Yeah.
I had an old fashioned all red button up the front with the 2 butt flaps on the back.
Yeah. Well,
Pajama.
it seems like if you're a onesie, you want that.
Yeah, well, when I was in my 20s, which was so long ago.
I mean, a little bit ago.
So I had really been on the hunt to find one of those old school, real deal, like a kid's fuzzy onesie with the 3 rings on the sleeve with the little one button here that zipped up.
Yep.
I finally found it. I had a lot of onesies. I got rid of most of them after I met my husband.
He was not a fan of the onesie.
Not really. And now he is, because we got him a dinosaur one. I had the unicorn one and I got my son one, and we would be dressed up together, and he's got FOMO.
That's funny.
Yeah. He was like, I want one. And I was like, oh, yes, let me begin the shopping.
I can relate. For the holidays, Lori got a bunch. She got like 2 or 3 different holiday pajama
sets.
bottoms. Yeah. And then like the second one that she wore, I was like, hey, those are neat. I would wear those. And then she looked at me and she goes, for real, you would wear it? I was like, yeah. And what showed up a couple days later?
Matchy.
I don't think exactly matching, but yes.
Oh, I'm down for the matchy.
And for Christmas, I wore those pajamas with my Santa robe and my Santa hat.
Wait, say Santa robe?
Santa robe. Santa robe.
What is that?
Santa robe?
Yeah.
It's the robe Santa would wear. Red with furry cuffs and
but it opens all the way up the front.
Yeah, it's a robe.
So you can jingle your bells.
Look at that. You guys are adorable.
See? The dinosaur. He came out to play. I'm telling you, we are all about the onesie life.
See,
this is Sunday fun days for the family. Pancakes and onesies.
Aren't you proud that I didn't make fun of you increasing the text size, the font size on your phone?
What? Why would you? Why is that funny? I want people to hear what the fuck I'm saying. It's not just for me reading it.
And you want to be able to read it at a normal distance?
No, I want to talk shit from far and say, read this, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. Look at the print. It's not even fine. It's all caps and I'm yelling it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I mean, there's a functional aspect to it.
How dare you? How dare you?
Coty, thanks for coming.
Thanks.
You know, you just had an episode before we started with the bank.
Lord have mercy. Yeah.
I had my own episode with the bank this morning. So I think we should start off with, today.
We need to burn some sage over ourselves and phone.
No, I am going to go completely on the record and say I hate BECU.
Oh, really?
They are horrible.
Oh, that's
on multiple levels. They're horrible in person. They're horrible on the phone.
People rave about BEC.
I don't know what. You know what I think it is? I think people just they do a really good job of marketing themselves.
Hipster. It feels like hipster banking.
It is.
BECU, you're a hipster banker.
It's like you're
not really. You're giving in to the man if you're not hipster banking.
But I've had such horrible luck on multiple levels with BECU, from them being flat out rude and dismissing to me in the branch to
nobody likes that,
to their online banking. Their app sucks. It is not intuitive.
But let's be honest. Have you ever been with a bank that you're like, love these guys?
Yeah. Chase.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had Chase for 20 years and no problem.
Humble brag.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I have no money. I'm just talking about, I have no money really. But if we're talking just about service, I've never had an issue with Chase on the service level.
Who else have you banked with?
So I have accounts with BCU, with Chase, with this other credit union called Jira.
Sure, totally heard of those guys.
Yeah, they're a small credit union. Alaska USA.
But here's the thing about those small credit unions is that, if I want to go to Florida and something happens, I'm shit out of luck.
Yeah, no ATMs.
And that's happened to me. I was in Arizona, and my cousin was being super accommodating, infer sarcasm, and she was like, just go to an ATM. And I was like, they don't have my bank in.
Yeah.
I used to bank with Bank of America, and oh my God, I started getting so frustrated with them. You pull out any sum of money, you can't have cash, can't deposit cash. Everything was like super under the radar. They're like, well, you have to report it like this. And I was like, dude, it's my money.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you cash. They're like, well, anything under $2,000 or at $2,000, we have to report and this and that. And I was like, it seems, and then they just stopped taking cash deposits like that. they messed up so many things with me. So, and the only reason I banked there is because my landlord banked there. So then I could just transfer money for my rent.
Yeah.
You want a cashier's check? Everything was complicated, and they were just the worst. But if I'm in New York, they have Bank of America. If I'm over here, they have Bank of America. So it was like this inconvenient convenience that was happening.
Well, I have a Bank of America account, and I so I have a business account through them. Mm-hmm. The Sneakers Friend, their business account is through Bank of America, and then I set up my own personal account because I've hated BECU for a while now.
But you're not a quitter.
I'm lazy. But this one did it. This one, what happened to me this morning, that pushed me over to where BECU, I am taking my
$5. I'm taking my $5 and I'm leaving you.
You will never get another $17.50 deposit from me ever again. And everyone who works for you is super whack.
Feel my...
They're just rude. This is the worst thing that happened. Is that within a matter of 2 weeks, my Zelle payments to someone else were declined.
That's annoying.
Yeah, super. So my Zelle payments through the BECU app were declined, and they make you go through such a rigmarole to resolve it. So you have to call into support. Then you have to talk to some prick who feels like he's God because he's controlling whether or not you can actually send or receive this money. So I was sending money. I bought a pair of shoes from a guy, and I was
Venmo's like that. You cannot reverse any track. It's like,
well, I mean, so the reversing, I haven't even tried to. I think all of these make it hard to reverse, but they just flat out blocked it. So Zelle through BECU just blocked it. And I know that there's Zelle through a bunch of banks, but I've never had an issue with Zelle through Chase.
Me neither. I've never.
Ever.
Everybody I talk to is like, yeah, just send it through Zelle.
Yeah, but Zelle through BECU.
We are not sponsored by Zelle.
That'd be cool if it were. So I was sending, I don't know, like $400.
I don't think they need our help.
They don't. I was sending $400 through Zelle. It was declined. I called the support and asked why. And then the guy goes,
"You don't have any money."
Well, luckily I had $401.
$405.
But he says, okay, yeah, I see the I see the transaction that you tried to do. Who were you sending it to? And then I said, his name is Steve. And then he goes, "Oh, are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." And then he goes, "Okay, can you verify it?"
With 2 E's?
No. So I said, well, because it's not even mandatory that you put the name if it's the number. You can because I put Steve in the note. And he goes, "Okay, can you verify it?" And I said, "Well," we call him, that's his American name because I was sending money to a Chinese guy. And he had a Chinese name, right, which I cannot pronounce. So I'm telling them this, and he goes "Oh, okay, yeah." So he goes, "Okay," and then he starts saying, "Why are you sending him $400?"
That's not your business, sir. And is it their business?
Well, technically, they can ask.
What if you said it's for drugs?
Well, we're getting there. So I said that I was already.
I had a lot of cocaine last night, and I think he needs his money.
So when he asked, "Why are you sending him $400?" that immediately put me into a horrible mood. And then I said, "What different? Like, why? Like, this is my money. Why do you want to know?" He goes, "Well, because I have to feel confident that this is not a fraudulent transaction." And I said, "What do you mean fraudulent? This is my account."
Fraudulent on my side, or fraudulent on their side?
I said, I just proved to two people who I was, because they ask you about all of that stuff. Right. And then I had to tell them again. I said, I just proved to two people who I was. So this is my money. What do you care what this money is for? I just need to send Steve, my Chinese friend Steve, $400.
Chinese friend Steve, an elaborate birthday cake.
And then
there might be a file in it. Whatever.
So this prick goes, well, you're going to have to give me a satisfactory answer. Otherwise, your Zelle is going to be deactivated.
What?
And then I said, you are kidding me. I said, all right. Steve tickled my balls yesterday.
Holy
and I told
God.
him,
Did you
that I would
say
give
that?
him $400.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's amazing. He loved that.
I said, I got a good ball tickling for my friend Steve, and now I owe him $400.
This is BECU you're talking to.
So BCU would say that they're separate from Zelle, which technically is true. But I believe that there has to be some sort of
relationship.
Of how Zelle treats BECU customers. Because again...
So you're talking to a Zelle guy.
I'm talking to a Zelle guy.
Okay.
But I'm basing the fact that BECU sucks because I've sent tons of money and received tons of money through Zelle, through my Chase.
So many fives of dollars.
So many. If you add them all up,
there's so many fives.
There's at least 4 digits in there.
Of fives.
At fives.
There's like 4 fives in there.
So then he said something along the lines of, I don't believe you. I don't believe that's true. I said, are you telling me that I didn't get a good ball tickling from my friend Steve and now I have to send him $400?
You're making him have the ball tickling conversation. That's my favorite part of it.
And then this guy got more agitated.
Aggressive.
And then he said, you're going to have to tell me why. And then I said, okay, it's drugs. I'm sorry, you got me. I bought some drugs and I need to send him $400.
Oh, see?
I need to send him $400.
Immediately.
And then this guy goes, sir, if you don't give me a real reason why you're sending this $400, I can flag your account and then have it be audited and you'll probably get in trouble. And then I was livid out of my brain. I was so angry. I said, you miserable prick, do you think you have power over me because of this? I said, is this how you get off, you jerk? Is this the only thing in your life that gives you any sort of pleasure?
Yeah, as soon as you're saying that, he's going.
Yeah, he's like licking his fingers.
Yeah.
It's like, is this how pathetic you are that you feel that you can control and play master to people's money? I said, this is my money. I can do whatever.
Yeah.
And then I said,
what if it, honestly though, like A, yes. What if it was for drugs? B, what if it was for a prostitute? Like, that's not, I mean, seriously, if you're a working girl, Zelle's just fine, you know?
No, the Cash App, Zelle, they all get used.
Dude, here, let me tell you this. In irony of your story now, I just saw John Mulaney's new stand-up special, and he's like, I don't know what the hell you guys are using Venmo for, but Venmo is for drugs. And transactions between you and your drug dealer. I Venmo my drug dealer all the time. And he's like, and you guys are just passing money back and forth for food publicly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not out there.
Right.
And the truth of what you're saying is exactly that. Like, this is my money. I can stuff it in a homeless person's pocket at my leisure.
Yeah.
It's not for you to dictate how, when, and who I spend my money with.
Yeah.
I am fucking Pretty Woman up in this bitch. I say when, I say who, I say how much.
You know, and the...
Oh, wait. What the? Okay, I'm good. All right, sorry.
It was just an overall frustrating conversation because I proved who I was. It's my money.
It's your money.
And then
that's the bottom line.
This gatekeeper of a prick, gatekeeper. That might have sounded like gatekeeper, but I meant gatekeeper of a prick.
Ghostbusters reference.
Felt it necessary to bust my balls over this.
I'm the key master.
And then I got really angry. And then I said, you know what? Let me talk to your manager. I mean, I'm rare, like always being a Karen, wanting to talk to the manager.
He's being a Carlos.
He's being a Carlos. being a Luis. I was like, I said, I can't talk to you anymore. I said, give me your manager. I said, the CZ Media Podcast is brought to you by Rancho Bravo Tacos with 2 convenient locations, Capitol Hill and Wallingford. It's super easy for you to get some delicious Mexican food. Tacos, burritos, tostadas, whatever you like. I prefer the birria tacos. They're delicious. I dip them in a consomme. Ugh, love it every single time. The Capitol Hill location has a convenient drive-thru, or you can pick up your order and enjoy the patio. Rancho Bravo Tacos also offers catering. If you have an event coming up and you're in charge of catering, go to the website, ranchobravotacos.com, fill out the catering form. You'll get it all sorted out. They'll get it all worked out, and your event will be a hit. You will be the hit of your event if you get catering from Rancho Bravo Tacos. So don't forget, Capitol Hill, Wallingford, the website, ranchobravotacos.com, catering, patio, drive-thru, perfect, convenient, delicious. You are being you're being insane. I said, this is my money. So I spoke to the manager. I told him what happened. And then I said, if there's anything that I can do to file a complaint against this jerk, I want to do it, because he is threatening me with flagging my account.
He's just
to audit.
He's just a liaison. He's not a official in any.
Yeah, he has minimal power. But again, this is what he gets off on.
But he's flexing it.
Yeah. He has. This is how certain people get their jollies, off of flexing the only little tiny bit of control that they have.
But that's what they need. That makes him love his job so much more.
So angry. So the manager said, the manager fixed it. And then I said, I repeated what I told him. So I did tell him.
About your balls?
Yeah. I said, I gave him 2 reasons why. But then he threatened with having my account flagged and audited. And then I said,
did you ask him if he can do that? Does he have the authority to do
I did.
that?
And then he said no. And then I said, can you please follow up with me in an email, because I want to know where this goes, because that is unacceptable.
Yeah. And how about all the times when you're on these calls that your call may be monitored for
quality assurance?
Yeah. What about that quality assurance on your side of the...
I mean, what was so funny about that experience is that my anger did not subside. So the next day I get an email from BECU saying we apologize, and we're cool. Looking into it.
Yeah.
And it was from a manager somewhere. Who knows where this guy was, right? Who knows? And then a week later,
guy. He's just calling himself manager. Manager Bill.
That would be funny if that were true. But a week later,
how's your balls?
A week later, I reply to this, and I said, I need a follow up. I said, what happened to this guy? And it took them about 3 days to reply. But they did reply, and they said that they had a conversation with him and let him know that he should not be threatening customers
for anything
with having their accounts flagged and audited. I was so angry.
No, but also any and all of it can be a lie. I can just tell you what you want to hear, and it doesn't make it true.
Right, exactly.
What kind of dance game are we playing here? Why?
It's the control.
You know what I'm saying?
It's that he felt he needed this. He felt he has this control, and he would not relent unless he was satisfied. I needed to give him his point.
It's like I spent $400 on fried chicken to give to homeless people. Really?
Yeah.
I got the best blowjob of my life. It's none of your business.
It really isn't. And man, I try real hard not to use any. I stopped using Venmo when they wanted you to add your social security number, because you're gonna get I mean, I'm not sure if this is true still, but you're gonna get a tax document if you sent more than $600 or received more than $600, so that you had to claim it. So I stopped using Venmo, and Zelle is just easy because it's built right into most banking apps.
Your apps, yeah.
It's built right in and it's easy.
Yeah, I always get annoyed when people are like, I don't have that. I'm like, you're a liar.
You liar. Yes, you do.
You have it.
Oh, I've called them out. I was like, yes, you do.
You have it.
And then they're like, it's not set up yet. I was
This
like, yes,
is what I'm saying with my cousin. This is exactly what I'm saying about my cousin. She was like, she was being terrible about a family heirloom, this jacket. And she's like, I had to buy it back from the people because they were basically doing an estate sale and selling everything out of my grandmother's house that they didn't take out prior to the estate sale. And I said, where's the coat that grandma's brother made? And it's like handmade. It's really unethical now, but it's something that was made for her years ago before people cared about these kind of things.
What was it?
It's a fur coat made out of seal.
Oh, that stuff is still alive and well.
But in Alaska, where people do that, and it was, I mean, in the 50s or 60s when it was made, and it has her name embroidered in it, all professional, super high quality. And I'm like, what? Is that going to go to a stranger?
Right.
Like,
it's going to go to Goodwill.
This is what I'm saying. And I was like, I live in a cold place. It's my grandmother. I was born in Alaska. There's a lot of ties for me. I'd like to keep it in the family.
You were born in Alaska?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Okay. Well,
now I know.
Now I'm on it.
Note to self.
Anchorage. And so I thought it seemed quite valuable to keep it in the family. It's a very interesting, specific thing that you'll never get again.
Right.
You know, it's
well,
not
if it's personalized to her.
It's like a professional label that says custom made for, and her full name.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want the coat. And she was like, you're too late. Blah, blah. She gave me such a hard time about it. Anyway, so she's like, I said, well, thanks a lot for the heads up. I gave her a little shade on it. And then she's like, I got the jacket. It cost me $150. I'm like, that's like nothing for the true value of the coat and all its sentiment. I was like, yeah, cool, no problem. So I get to Arizona and I'm like, okay, can I like, this is the real irony. She's in accounting and banking for a profession.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can I Venmo you? Zelle? She's like, no, I don't have any of that. It's like, how is it that you work in finances and you have not managed to find convenience of finances?
Yeah.
My stepmom, who is 2 decades older than her, has Venmo.
Yeah.
And she's like, can you just go to the ATM and like pull out some cash? She was trying to be difficult also.
Yeah. So she didn't want to give you the coat until...
She doesn't like me. She doesn't like me. It's okay.
Well, screw her.
Ah, she's bitter. Whatever. So she's a Karen. Yeah. Like 1,000%. So anyway, she was making it super complicated. And I was like, look, they don't have my bank in Arizona. I'm sorry. I was like, I can't just run to the bank. I'm kind of shocked. But she has a Zelle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's got a bank account. But she wants me, while I'm visiting with no car, to go figure it out.
Yeah, to go through inconvenience.
And my stepmom's like, I'm like on the phone, and she's like, don't worry about it. I'll write a check and leave it here. And then you can just, Venmo me.
Yeah.
Weird. How easy.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. I was like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, but the truth is that bottom line, if I want to pay a prostitute, buy some drugs, whatever.
Yeah.
They agree. Then I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's my money. And we are not living in a cash world anymore.
It's more of it's more of it's a fool's.
Do you take Square?
It's a fool's errand and it's the memo section when you send money. It says it's optional. It's like you don't have to put a memo.
No, that's why. This is what I was saying about John Mulaney.
Yeah, so
he
then
was
why
like,
ask?
"You guys are all publicly." No, he's not gonna. John Mulaney's gonna pay his drug dealer. He's not gonna put on there for cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all messed up.
That would be quite offensive to the drug dealer. Hey, why are you blowing up my spot?
Yeah. So that was last year
Last year.
for the BECU Zell thing.
So are you done with them
Well,
as of
no,
today?
as of today. So what happened today?
Take your $5 and run.
It was
That was them. They heard you. They're
so
pissed.
I had to do I had to pay. I'm doing some work on my rental house, doing some work on it, and I had to pay a contractor. Mm-hmm. And I get on the phone, and I use the BECU account as the house fund for that house.
Right.
And I got I had them on the line, and I was like, I'll just do a payment over the phone with the contractor. I give them the card information, and they go, oh, it was declined because it said it was over your limit. And I'm like, what's going on? So I called BECU. I'm embarrassed, first of all.
Yeah.
Then I called BECU, and then they're like, yeah, you have this transaction exceeded your daily limit. But I'm not taking money out. And I could be ignorant here. I realize that there's a daily limit on taking money out of an ATM.
Right.
But I'm making a payment. I am paying. And
they don't do that.
I didn't know. Like Chase doesn't, if this had been Chase, granted it was $13,000 that I'm paying, Chase would have had no problem.
You got to go get it.
Going that.
You got to go get it. That's
BCU,
a thing. My bank too. I tried to pay for this Capoeira event. My students are paying me, but they're not paying me. I don't even get a percentage of it. I just siphon it over to my teacher because it's technically his event.
Yeah.
And they're like, I could only send so much. And I think my limit through Zelle is like 1,000.
But even sending.
But that's new because I used to send more than that.
I'm paying. This is a transaction as if they have their system. They're putting in my information and I'm paying. And
yeah, that's another thing about the thing that happened to me today. They're trying to spend $1,000 at Best Buy. That's like way over my limit too. But I think, yeah, that's interesting.
Well, so yours was a fraud alert. Mine was just flat out declined.
Yeah.
Because there's a limit to what if I wanted to go buy, and what was dumb is that I have like a $2,500, $3,000 limit on this card.
Right.
Which is a debit card, right? So it's not a credit card. It's a debit card. I have money in the account.
Right.
And well, one, I didn't know that, which, shame on me that I should have known. But what if I wanted to buy a $5,000 TV?
Yeah.
They would have declined it. And then I would have done what I did here, which is call. And then these pricks, it was a nice enough girl who answered the phone, and I told her what happened, and she's like, okay, let me see. And then she's like, oh, your account has a limit of $2,500. And then I said, okay. I said, why? And she goes, oh, well, it's just because that's what we do with these debit cards. And I said, can you raise it? Because I need to pay this today. And then she goes, okay, what would you like it to be? And I said, $15,000. And then it took her about 5 minutes to get the approval. And then she's like, okay, I just want to let you know that we went ahead and raised that limit to you. So you should be able to make your transactions, but we just raised it until Monday. So you'll have all weekend and then you'll be set. So then these pricks control how I spend my money and then make it seem like they're doing me a favor by allowing me to spend my money.
Yeah.
So annoyed, so irritated. So yeah, for sure. Within within the next week or so, I'm taking my 32
power back. I'm taking my power back.
I've spent more time on the phone with BECU reps trying to get stuff resolved.
That's the most annoying part of it. That's what I was saying. Like, they want to cancel my card, and I'm like, it's not the new card. It's the resetting everything up. I was trying to pay my friend for breakfast the other day, and I couldn't do it because I had to get a new card because somebody hacked my thing. And then now I can't pay my friend because I have to reset up that account and this account and Hulu and Netflix, and everybody needs the new info.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
Yeah.
Goddamn technology and
Bitcoin, that's where it's
You know
at.
what's funny too is that it's all in the guise of convenience. Isn't that's the ironic part about it is that they're like, oh no, it's convenient, it's convenient. I was like, but another thing I was gonna say is that they don't like it if you try to come in the bank and take 15 grand out.
No. Well, because they don't have that amount. They don't have that money.
They're like, oh. I was like,
you need to set up an appointment to do that.
I want to clear out my account today. And they're like,
that sort of makes sense though. I'll be the devil's advocate here because banks don't have their money is out. Like that's how banks work.
No,
money
I get it. That's why people conspiracy theorists don't like and trust banks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well
look at those banks that just shut down recently.
Silicon Valley.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, their money, they started buying bonds and buying other assets that just plummeted in value. So they had no money left. Yeah, but that's, I mean, if you are a fan of holiday movies and It's a Wonderful Life, that kind of shows you how these businesses work.
Well, I was going to say too, I was watching, it was a while ago, but I was watching one of those like Storage Wars or something like this. And they found a mattress full of money.
Did they?
Full of money. And it turns out that it wasn't value. It had zero value anymore. So somebody spent their whole life stuffing their mattress with cash. And then
like American money?
No, it was foreign and it was like third world, but it lost its currency value. So, it's like it's in the end, it's just paper. So it's like, even if you're not putting it in the bank, it's like if the economy plummets, it's the same.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I mean, what do I know?
Look
I really
at that.
don't
And then
know
they
anything
strong arm you because Bank of America is just fine. What about all the Wells Fargo fraud that was going on?
Yeah.
That
I don't have them. I don't have Wells Fargo.
I did. Then I went to Bank of America and now I'm somewhere else. And I got to say, I really prefer where I'm at than Bank of America and Wells Fargo. So, the lesser of evils, I guess.
When I opened my Bank of America account, I said, "You're so nice," to the lady who was helping me. She's like, "You're so nice."
Fuck you.
No, she goes. I said, "I've been to BECU a few times, and all of their reps have just been rude or dismissive to me." And I said, "I don't like Bank of America." And then she just started to laugh. She said that normally she hears the opposite. She goes, well, how come you guys aren't as friendly as BECU? I'm like, well, I mean, what do I'm the anomaly here, obviously.
Yeah.
But it just goes back to customer service. When shutdown was happening, we would try to support as many businesses that were still able to be open. And I got some of the worst service during that time.
I think people were desperate for people to work. In general,
but
and
so
they were
working,
scraping.
I mean, if you were working,
I think they were bitter that they were working when everybody else was getting relief checks and this and people were like, "You're lucky I'm here." Even
because I even put out this little thing saying, "Hey, if you guys are if anyone is providing service during this crazy time, we're all on the same boat here. There's a little show. Let's have a little compassion."
Dude, I talked to so many people and I have a good handful of friends that have small businesses and And honestly, everywhere I would even go that was open, they all had signs, we're hiring.
Yeah.
They just
Well,
couldn't,
yeah.
could not keep staff. All the restaurants that used to have all the young little hotties in there.
They started OnlyFans accounts.
Yeah, and there was much more mature crowd of people who honestly were getting passed over for jobs. It's not that they weren't qualified or applying for the jobs. They wanted those jobs. They were getting passed over for the little hottie boombalotties.
Yeah.
And so now that those people don't really want to work and they're getting these little checks and they're doing other things, now they're like, okay, we'll take who's down to show up on time and do the job.
Yeah.
But I think since that whole kind of revival has come in, the service has actually gotten better because those are people that actually want to work.
Who want to work.
Yeah, and they're not just doing it because they like the attention and the good looks and the tips.
Yeah.
I used to go to Pesos, and damn, those girls were bitches. I'm not kidding. Fabricio was getting pissed. It's not just me, but like there'd be a table of a bunch of dudes like partying.
Frat boys.
And the girls would like sit down and be like chatting with them. And then I'd come over and I'd be like begging for them to come to our table and get a service, first of all. And second of all, I'd be like, hey, and they'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And like just all rude. I was like, dude.
I never liked that place.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? The food was so good. Oh, the food was so good.
I'd rather walk down the block to Rancho.
No, we reminisce about Pesos so much. They had the best carne asada in town. The food was so good, but then over the years, they started cutting corners. And it slowly but surely, it started getting watered down. They never updated the decor. It was getting grimier. And it's like, one of my favorite Mexican, like family style Mexican restaurants was in Magnolia. It's still there, El Ranchon. And I was talking to the owner one day and we're chatting. And we were just talking about business in general. And I said, look, your menu is awesome. And everybody here loves you for your menu. They know it. I said, my advice to you, to keep people interested and keep them coming back, keep your menu and then have rotating specials of new stuff, but don't take anything away.
That's so much work, though.
No. I'm just saying, don't take away things off your menu. It's working. I said, you want to make the place new and cool, fix the decor. Change the booths every 5 years or 7 years, Make the menus look a little fresher. Add some paint on the walls. And people are like, oh, they're taking care of the place. If it gets too outdated, it's too outdated. And that's what was kind of happening to Pesos. Like it got tired. And then they kept trying to do strange creative stuff to the menu. And it wasn't really the menu. It was the vibe in the place.
Yeah.
You looked up, they had these weird clothed panels. They were so dusty and dirty, and that's like hanging above your food at all times. And so like the waitresses were all super spicy, hot, and cute, right? And would like bring all the cool guys in or whatever, right? And then like the thing got a little run down. The place wasn't as cool anymore.
Maintenance
and then the waitresses started going. I was like, holy shit. Does she have a stump? How does a waitress work with one hand? She's got 3 fingers and an eye patch. I am skeptical.
Hey, pirates need to work too.
Hey, dude, they do. But like when there's more pirates than two-handed people, you gotta do some renovating. Renovate. That's what I'm saying. Because the truth is, the hot chicks are gonna go where the money is.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. That's a thing. That was a thing there. They all wanted to be Instagram stars and this and that. So
I did
I'm an
influencer.
Influencer.
I did a shoot with an OnlyFans girl the other day.
How'd that go?
And it was fine. It wasn't explicit. It was more of a boudoir shoot. But I was talking to her, and Well, so how familiar are you with OnlyFans?
I saw a documentary on Hulu about OnlyFans, and it gave me a broader insight about who's doing it. People who are in sex work who are kind of offended by people who are not in sex work, kind of trying to take it over also, and then them trying to put limitations on it because they are entrepreneurs in a way. They're making their own money and they're out there and they're self-sufficient with it.
Yeah. So this particular girl, she charges $50 a month, which is a lot.
Is it on? I don't know about any of the pricing or anything. I'm not a subscriber.
Yeah, it's a lot. $50 is a lot. But yeah, basically I didn't ask her too many questions.
$50 a month, but how many subscribers?
Yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like people might be horny, but they're also cheap. They'd rather put $5 here and $5 there and $10 there. Still use their $50, but spread it out. Yeah.
50 is a lot, but it's she makes enough of it to live.
Yeah.
And she lives nearby. She lives in the Seattle area, so it has to be enough.
Webcam girling thing has been going on for a long time.
Yeah,
I had a friend who lived in Wallingford, and he had a larger house, and he basically lived on the bottom floor and then rented out the rooms upstairs. And he was like, I'm pretty sure one of the girls is doing webcam stuff in there.
A lot of moaning.
A lot of, small outfits and don't come a knocking.
I don't understand. I don't fully. Well, no, I understand. I understand why that's appealing to both sides, but I generally I will venture to say not the most healthy thing to do.
No, you're crossing a line with your soul. Honestly, it's like the boob sweat chick.
Yeah.
That we talked about. It's right in correlation to that. It's like just because this is the problem. That it's the core problem of it. Just because of where you're at in your life today, you're comfortable with it today. You're like, oh, I'm cool with that. I'm totally fine with who I am. Doesn't mean in 5 years or 10 years, you wish that shit was gone and it's still there.
Yeah.
And now you're over it. Now you're in a different place in your life, and now it's chasing you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. There's probably a bunch of feminists that would argue with you and say that you should still feel the same, that you're empowered to know that there's some sort of empowerment angle to it.
I get it, but I'm a woman, and I'm telling you, like from a woman's perspective, we cannot predict the future. I have a friend who was so stubbornly, offensively atheist. She would mock Christians and thought it was so funny and would say things that were blatantly offensive. And now she's a Baptist Christian.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't predict where you're going to be and what, as younger people, we don't see the world the same. Even as a mature woman in your 60s who might want to do some grandma porn.
Yeah.
You know?
It goes both ways.
You might be cool with it in your grandma phase of your life, but there might be a lot of things leading up to that. And then you have a different experience in your life that changes all of that again. The problem with this is that it is extremely permanent.
Right.
Because when I do debaucherous teenage stuff as a kid, by the grace of God, I was not in a filming, journalized,
documented
phase of the world.
Right.
So all of that is just rumors, hearsay, and over time, people's imaginations shift circumstances.
Yeah.
So, but they can't just pull a thing out and go, no,
Like,
seriously,
yeah.
look. And that's kind of the beauty of growing pains, right? We live with it. We think about it, calculate it, and go, okay, I'm not there anymore. In that moment, I was super fine with that, and I was all confident. I was like, yeah, this is who I am. I'm cool, whatever. And then later you're like, okay, that was like the old me. But luckily, because of the way things were, I can let that die back there in the past.
Well, it goes in line with feelings could be fake. The way you feel about something right this second, not that it's fake, but that it is not permanent. It can change the next minute. So this idea of making so many important decisions based off of feelings, it's kind of weird to me. Mostly because I've been accused of having zero feelings. But when you have conversations with people where, and this is really frustrating to me, where you're trying to have like an actual conversation about whatever, and if the individual who you're speaking to always reverts back to, I feel that it should be because X, I feel that it should be because of Y, that really annoys me, because who cares how you feel? We still have to navigate in a world that has structure, and there's a process, and there's steps to do.
And
so you can't just keep on referring back to some la la land imaginary place that is controlled by how you feel.
Or think that just your feelings are a scapegoat for bad behavior.
Right.
Because you're like, well, I feel like you're this. And I'm like, well, you're not really putting any broad thought into it and trying to see somebody else's perspective, seeing the general idea of what's going on and how the puzzle pieces fit together and how you are a part of that.
Right.
You can't just go, well, that's how I feel. Well, that negates that I have feelings too. And then outside,
so it's like, who cares?
Onlooker has their perspective, and all of that is in play, honestly, because I can see somebody doing something to somebody else and go, wow, that's offensive. Like, just as a spectator, I think that's offensive, what you're doing to a person. And it's so offensive that it's offending me. Even if they're not getting offended, I think you're out of line. And maybe they're not speaking up, but on my side of it, whether I speak up or not, quietly, I can be sitting at a party and watch somebody do something and be like, oh, that was fucking rude. And now I look at that person different. And if the person who was having the interaction was like, oh, I didn't feel like it was rude, I'm like, that's okay. You don't have to. I'm not telling you. And that's why I'm not going over there and going, you should be offended right now.
Yeah.
But my perception of the person who is interrogating is now that, oh, that's a rude person that I don't want to engage with just based off of that interaction. No matter who's feeling what. That's what I'm saying. We all have our feelings. It's like, oh, I didn't feel like they thought it was rude. And I was feeling like this. I was like, cool. And I'm feeling that you're offensive. Okay. We all have the feelings. Okay. And that's why
so if don't we trust them is what I'm saying.
If we want to navigate in harmony and politically, we can't just live off of our own feelings and say that you have a feeling and that excuses all behavior.
Yeah. No, right.
Like saying some racial slur or something extremely derogatory, and you're like, well, I was feeling threatened. That doesn't mean shit. Cops that shoot people, black people, because they're feeling threatened. Like, yeah, it's not okay. By the way, I bet they were feeling quite threatened by you.
I was listening to a Mexican comedian. I think his name is Jorge Barbosa. Have you seen him lately?
Yes.
He's hilarious.
Hilarious.
He was saying, yeah, I'm still hanging out with the beans. Or something along those lines. But instead of saying beaner, he said beans. And then the person who was interviewing just started cracking up and said, you know what? That's pretty funny. You're leaving off. He goes, you're leaving off the ER. You're leaving off the hard R with the beaners, which makes it sound even worse.
I don't think so. I feel like that he like cuted it up a little bit. Like magic beans. Beans sounds cute.
Beans?
Yeah, beaners sounds like ruder. Like very finger pointy.
I like them both. I've called myself that plenty of times.
That's different. It's all the context.
And I even have a good color for a pinto bean.
But that's context too. Like if somebody, and this is the major point, if you know when somebody is intentionally trying to speak to you derogatorily and put you down.
Yeah.
Versus we all in it together. And that's why it's like this, like when you talk about people who are like on the outside who want to get offended. We can't believe he said that. I'm outraged and this
it's
and that.
The easiest thing in the world to do.
Were you there though? Are you like in it, like they're in it in the moment?
Yeah.
And this is
probably not.
And this is why I'm saying, do you want attention for being righteous and outraged?
Yep.
Or do you really care about the problem?
Nope.
Because right here, there's actually no problem, and you're trying to conjure a problem through outrage.
Right. Well,
there's a difference.
It's dumb.
It's
silly, which is it's silly in the same way that it is silly for someone to get offended at a comedy show.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of these videos now where there's comics doing a set, and then there's some moron who pipes up and says that's not funny, or
those people should not be going to comedy. You should not
be going. I mean, these people who are easily offended should not go to comedy.
Don't go to comedy shows. Like the total point of a comedy show is that you got to go in with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I was saying, so I have a comedian. I watch a lot of comedy. I'm super invested in that as far as my mental space. I put a lot of, if there's a pie chart, I got a big pie piece for comedy.
A lot invested in comedy.
Yeah, because there's a lot of ideas. They play with a lot of ideas that are really thought-provoking, which I really like. And who doesn't like to laugh, And I don't trust the people that don't like to laugh. But the point is these people, they go into it, and I like Jim Jeffries. He's funny. He says a lot of misogynistic, offensive things about women that if you're super uptight, and I even told my brother was like, oh, Jim Jeffries is coming to town. We should see. I was like, I got to say, like, I love him. I think he's so funny. I think his shit talk about women is specific to him and his experience, and it's not necessarily like a generalization.
Yeah.
But I also told my brother, I think I as a woman would feel awkward in an audience at his show. Like me at home alone in my house watching it on Netflix is one thing, but being a woman in the audience, I don't know if I feel like I'm like, yeah, we suck.
Then you would rush the stage.
What I'm saying? No, of course not.
Hit him
but
with,
that's not my personality.
What's that back kick?
But here's that one. Me allergic compasso to the face.
Right to the face.
Yeah, no. But no, because I already know what, that's the thing about me. I know what I'm getting into.
Right.
But here's another thing. I also, on the other hand, I don't like man basher women comedians. I'm not into it. I'm like, I don't like the full on battle of the sexes because there's shit on both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, usually you're coming from such a narrow perspective. Like it's the stuff that is wide, like there's a big umbrella that covers a bunch of stuff. I think that's more funny than something super specific.
I think like making a quip kind of joke about generalizations can be funny when the timing's right. It's like, oh, your wife nags, how that was. It's like if they say it right at the right time, like, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but bitches be nagging, but then again, dudes be assholes. So like it's
like,
a
hey.
fair trade, right? It's like
Which came first? The world will never know.
no, that's a tug of war that just keeps pulling back on both sides. And that's the thing. Like, I'm all for it. I'm all for but that's the thing also about comedy. It's you got a personal taste in it, right? Like some stuff is like, sorry, folks, but I don't think Joe Rogan's that funny.
I agree. He's not. I
like his podcast. I like him as an interviewer. Over the years, I feel like he's pandering more now than where he was back in the day. Depending on, should I say it honest? I feel like
no, go ahead.
Okay. So like depending on his stature and prominence over his guest, he talks to them differently. Like if he feels like more powerful than his guest, he'll be way more assertive, way more confrontational. Yeah. Versus somebody where he feels like maybe he's not as powerful.
Well, are we all that way?
Then he panders more. No, not necessarily. I'm not just confrontational to be confrontational. No. I really don't. Yeah. My husband is. If like we do Google challenge in the house all the time. Like I'll say something and I'm very much like, I'll say it like this a lot because I'm not a huge researcher person, but I have a interesting little vault that I keep up here. And I'm like, I'm not sure, but I think that guy said this. Blah, blah, blah. That's not true. And he'll be like, that's not true. You're wrong. And he's very, confrontational that like, oh, you said that wrong. That's not exactly what happened. And I'm like, he's like, Google it. That's the
the challenge.
The fist on the table. Google it. The savoring when we Google and I'm right. Oh, but if he's right, merciless. He is. Oh, his dick grows, I think, when he's right. It gets much longer and girthier. Hey, he starts swinging around. Look at how big my dick is. I'm right today.
So when you're wrong, it's a win-win, though, for you.
No. Nobody is pleasuring the big dick wagger. Nobody likes that guy. No. You want the polite door knocker big dicker. You're like, excuse me.
It seems like a double-edged sword.
I'm so plumpy right now. You should indulge in this. This is a little favor for you. Not, hey, look at how big my dick is. I am amazing. Like, put your big dick away. Nobody want to see that.
I said that one time and I learned my lesson.
Oh, don't.
Never.
Yeah. That's a one-time lesson learner. You don't have to.
That is you say that one time and it just goes completely sideways. Yeah, you'll never make that mistake again. That's so funny. But I will agree. His Joe's stand-up is not good. I don't particularly think he's funny.
No, he goes for the cheap shit. And he goes for the dick jokes. He goes for the dirty stuff. He really digs in on women and it doesn't have like the cleverness.
No, not like the Bill Burr
sneak surprise I don't and the crude just straight. I mean, I just dropped a bunch of crude stuff, but that was like satirical because none of it's real. But
hey, Fabrizio's gonna say, hold on. Some part of what
I'm
you
just saying
said is real.
It doesn't double in size when he's right. Okay, there's some fantasy there. It typically stays in a general zone that's acceptable. Okay, I'm a fan. I married the guy. Okay, we don't have to talk about it. But what I am saying is that like, I want something a little smarter, and this is the thing. Like Jim Jeffries' delivery is clever. It is funny. It's also very personal, and you can feel that he got burnt somewhere and that's why he's talking about it in that way. You know what I mean? But it's not just like, I feel like Rogan will talk really loud to get a reaction, but the content isn't there's no
basic.
It's not funny like that.
Yeah.
It's not surprising your intelligence in that way that you're like,
yeah, his comedian friends are way funnier than he is.
no, everybody. Yeah, I love Chappelle.
Yeah.
I'm in love with Nate Bargatze right now. Nate, if you're listening, I know you're in a very committed relationship, but I think you're fantastic.
Is he the Indian?
No.
Who is he?
No, he's from Tennessee kid. And he has a great podcast too, and I listen to it all the time, but he's a clean comedian, and I'm talking like belly laughs the whole way through because he's so clever.
Right.
And the way he sets it up, and then the way he'll twist it right when you think you know the punchline, he flips it into something else, and it's still very like attainable. Like you can really relate to it. It's relatable. It's attainable, clever, and funny. And I just love it. And I like Tom Segura.
Oh, he's good.
And I like
Do you listen to his podcast with his wife? They relied a lot on the dirty.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think she's that funny.
No.
I mean, have you seen her stand up?
Yeah, it's okay. But
this is not what you want to hear. And he's hilarious. And their thing together versus him and Bert Kreischer is totally funnier.
Right.
But I get his thing and I get his audience and that works. But I think his stand up on its own is way funnier than any of that side stuff that he's doing.
Yeah. And he's Argentinian. I didn't know that. He speaks really good Spanish.
Really good Spanish, yeah. That was like, did you see that bit he did about him in the parking lot? And he was talking to the Mexican guy who was trying to pay for parking. He was like trying to impress him a little bit by speaking Spanish. And he goes, you no ticket, you no pay. Or you no pay, you no ticket. And he's like, I'm talking to the guy in perfect Spanish and he's answering me in English. And he's like, yeah, I don't think you understand. I just want to go here and come back and do the thing. And it goes, you no pay, you no park. They're like coming back at him still with like, I don't care how good your Spanish is. I'm telling you in English so you don't misunderstand me.
Right. That's a Mexican thing.
And it was funny. And it was so funny. And this is what I'm saying. He's so funny. He also talked about meeting Mike Tyson. And just his stories are so funny. And they're not really dirty.
No. He
might cuss a little. He might say this. But he's not dirty for the sake of dirty just to get a reaction.
He's dirty with his wife.
Oh, I'm shocked. Well, he watches dirty stuff. And here's another thing. I watch some dirty stuff, okay? I've seen some stuff. I've watched some stuff. But I'm not really talking about it with other people. I'm just like, I'm a grown-up. I can handle
you
this.
and Fabricio aren't going to do a dirty stuff that we see podcast?
No, he's not interested in that either. Not like that. No.
Actually,
he's not interested in talking to me, is what I meant. That's cool. He's like, please stop talking immediately.
Well, because
could you cook something or something? I would really like that. Or go back to being wrong about things we can Google. Then I'll be having a good time.
Then I'll be happy.
We watch UFC together. And even then, if there's something serious going on and I'm making little jokes, I had to leave him. I had to leave him and lock the bedroom door when he was watching World Cup. He was getting so grumpy and so mean. And he was like, this is not that. I was like, oh, he's Brazilian. I have to go lock him out.
Brazil his
he
team?
Tried to call me back. Come on, babe. Open the door. I'm sorry. I said, nope. I will talk to you when the game is over.
What's his team? Brazil,
but Brazil wasn't even in it anymore, but it was the finals, and I'm into the game. I like all sports. If there's an actual, real, thriving competition going on, I'm in it, and it was the end. It was, and they're playing so hard, and it's Argentina and France, and we're watching the game, and they're like battling it out, and like, I was like, I said something, He was like, got so mad at me for like being slightly funny in the moment. And I was like, and then he was like, now it's not the time to take it serious. And I was like, okay, I like soccer. Like, okay.
It's like, Coty, this is not a time to joke.
Beyond that, mad. And I was like, okay, you can fuck off. I'm going to go to my bedroom. I'm going to put on whatever the fuck I want in my TV, in my room. I'm going to lock the door so you can't even come in here and kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Fuck off with that. And then he knew though. He knew he was being rough and he was like, babe,
I'm sorry.
you can't come watch the game. No, I want to watch it with you. I was like, no.
Did you come out?
No, hell no.
You stuck to your guns.
Fuck no. Let him have his.
See, you stick to your guns.
Oh, yes, I do. No. If I don't, he is such a dominant man that if I don't, he won't like me the same.
Yeah.
Honestly, he won't.
Our last show that we did, when I said I stick to my guns and I never apologize to anyone, and then you said you should listen to your body, the comments that I got that on you, like one dude goes, maybe you should be a little bit humble and not. So it's like, I'm getting these.
That's right.
Like people are trying to give me actual advice.
They want you to live, man. Be healthy. Go for the walk up the hill. God damn it. Halfway and back. So funny.
And then I posted this with, I had my buddy Jose on, pro boxer, won his last fight, first round knockout. And then I titled the video, It's a Struggle. And basically it's me saying, I need to lose some weight. I'm trying to lose weight again. And then my buddy kind of, makes fun of it saying, again, or are you, he said more or again, you're trying to start the process over again. And I think I had multiple comments that say, like giving me training advice. It's like, bro, all you need to do is eat less garbage and be more active. That's all you got to do. I'm like,
wow, you should have a podcast. That's amazing.
This was the kicker though. One guy said depression hides itself in many ways. And he's gone. I'm like, what is going on? You can obviously see in the video that I'm laughing with my buddy.
And by the way, like you've been like this for a long time. Oh, it's not like you're just
I didn't gain 50 pounds, within the last 6 months.
No. And like seriously, no offense, but you're not a petite dude by nature.
Yeah,
so
impossible.
Look, I met this chick years ago. She worked at a 24-hour fitness and she's like, girl, I'm Samoan. She's like, I live on the treadmill. Small. She's like, and she was like fit, but she's like a thick girl, like a
big
good,
bones,
nice looking thick, shapely. Yeah. But she's like, oh dude, if I didn't do this, it would be totally different. And some people are not gonna be petite.
Nope.
And it doesn't mean that you're depressed. It doesn't. But the truth is that it's a fucking war.
Yeah.
To get to looking slick, and that takes a lot of motivation and dedication. Another thing is that when you see these people with these crazy shredded bodies, and I try to remind my friends who are feeling a little defeated about exercise and looking like a certain kind of way, I'm like, dude, all those people you see, their job, what they do for a living is fitness.
Yeah.
You don't see, some people are doctors and they get up at 4 a.m. and they're also super obsessed about that. But to just live a healthy life and not put yourself in physical danger, you got to make some effort.
Right. It's work. It has to be built into your schedule. Yeah. You have to stay true to it.
But it's not depression. No. It's also just like
it made me chuckle. It was like this.
It's like balance of happiness. It's like, dude, I'm not going to be feeling like I'm actually myself if I'm spending every moment obsessing about my weight. And it kind of has to be like that to even get there.
Right.
And if you're down for the slow journey, it can work. If you just pace yourself and keep having little milestones and get to a place that you feel like you're making the effort and therefore you're getting a little bit of serotonin boost from that. You're like, oh yeah, okay. I'm not a complete absent-minded and I'm not being oblivious to the fact that I want a little more of that in my life and just ignoring it and doing nothing.
Yeah.
Doing a little something is something. That's all I mean, seriously, that's all that it really takes. Like if you go to a class twice a week, you don't have to be 7 days a week, but you do a little something. You give a little love back to yourself to remind yourself that you're worth it, to have a little bit of healthy, to balance out all the other bullshit that I'm going to enjoy.
To not be out of breath when I walk up my 8 stairs.
Or tie your shoes.
Or tie my shoes. All right, Coty.
Cool, dude.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We had fun.
Me too.
Give yourself a shout out.
I'm Coty. Shout it from the rooftops. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much. And then don't forget to subscribe and watch and check me out on YouTube. Don't ask. I will not
comment. Tell him.
Yeah. I mean, comment, but I will never reply.
No, that's okay. He's
I'm not gonna
sticking
engage.
to his guns.
I will not engage, but say whatever the heck you want.
I want to know. He'll tell me. It's worth it for that.
Adios.
Adios. Mosquito.